I'm John Jorgenson with Stanley Martin Custom Homes, and here are some important questions to ask any builder if you're considering doing an on-your-lot transaction. At Stanley Martin Custom Homes, we always enter into a fixed price contract on your home transaction, and the only way the price will change is if you make changes to your selections during the process. This is another very important question to ask every builder, because at Stanley Martin Custom Homes, we only build homes for buyers who are building on their lot. We don't build any spec homes whatsoever. 100% of the employees at Stanley Martin Custom Homes are only helping our on-your-lot buyers through the transaction. There is no conflict of interest whatsoever. So at Stanley Martin Custom Homes, if we're helping you search for a lot, we would never buy the lot out from underneath you. If we are building your home, we would never divert our resources to a spec home because we don't build any. So a builder that does on-your-lot building and spec building, they are probably going to put their energy and resources into their spec home before the on-your-lot home, because they need to get that home completed and on the market and sold so they can get their money back out of the spec home. At Stanley Martin Custom Homes, we encourage our buyers to be present on the job site. In fact, you will have weekly meetings with your project manager on site every week during construction. Very, very few builders offer this kind of service. At Stanley Martin Custom Homes, we will manage the site work for you. All site work tasks are a direct pass-through to our customer at cost. HERS stands for Home Energy Rating Score. And at Stanley Martin Custom Homes, we test every one of our Neighborhood Series homes, and at the end of the process, we are going to deliver a certificate to you that shows you what your HERS score is. One of the great things about Stanley Martin Custom Homes and the fact that we dovetail on Stanley Martin Companies is we get to take advantage of all of the benefits of the Stanley Martin Companies Home Sciences division. And they are constantly working to make our plans more energy efficient. At Stanley Martin Custom Homes, we dovetail on Stanley Martin Companies, and we have access to their full library of modern, up-to-date plans. At Stanley Martin Custom Homes, we dovetail on Stanley Martin Companies, and Stanley Martin Companies has a market research and development team that is constantly improving their floor plans. The Stanley Martin Companies marketing and research team is interviewing current homeowners in Stanley Martin Homes, and they're also interviewing the buyers that are constantly coming through our model homes to learn exactly what it is that today's buyer wants. Stanley Martin Companies uses all that market research data to create the most appealing floor plans available on the market today. At Stanley Martin Custom Homes, you can build those very same floor plans on your lot at the affordable prices you see online at webuildonyourlot.com. At Stanley Martin Custom Homes, we believe that the selections process is the most important process to you, the buyer. So you will get as many selection meetings as needed so you can comfortably choose all the finishes in your home. After all, the decisions that you make during this phase of the transaction are the decisions that you're going to be living with when you move into your home. So this is a very important phase. At Stanley Martin Custom Homes, you will be working directly with our design studio manager, and she has been with the company since its inception. Our design studio is fully furnished and includes kitchen and bathroom vignettes. When you visit our design studio and work with our design studio manager, you will make all your selections in one location. We'll be able to pull the cabinets and the granite and the backsplash, and we can put everything together for you while you're making your selections. At Stanley Martin Custom Homes, we absolutely will show you our processes and trackers. We're very, very proud of all the work that we've put into these over the years, and our processes and trackers are key to providing an exceptional experience to you, the buyer, as you go through the transaction. Ask any builder that you're considering to show them their processes.